Hey everyone, welcome back to another video of the Game Factor. Today we will go over the story of Grand Theft Auto 5. It has been over 10 years since the game was released. And with the new GTA game coming soon, this is the perfect time to remember what happened in GTA 5. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more content. It is 2004. In the snowy town of Zudanov, North Yankton, three bank robbers, Michael Townley, Brad Snyder, and Trevor Phillips, attempt to rob a cash storage facility. As they exit the vault with the stolen money, a security guard catches Michael at gunpoint. Trevor quickly reacts, shooting the guard, saving Michael in the process. The trio makes a run for it only to be pursued by the police. During the escape, FIB agent Dave Norton takes aim with a sniper rifle, shooting both Michael and Brad. Trevor, seeing Michael collapse, is shocked and takes cover. Despite fighting back against the police, he is ultimately outnumbered and is forced to flee into the raging snowstorm. Michael Townley secretly attends his own funeral. Without Trevor's knowledge, Michael had actually struck a deal with the FIB agent Dave Norton for betraying his crew in exchange for witness protection and a new life. Our story fast forwards to 9 years in Los Santos, where Michael Townley, now known as Michael DeSanta, is living with his family in a huge mansion in Rockford Hills. He has two kids, Jimmy and Tracy, and his wife named Amanda. Michael is miserable in his life undergoing therapy, and he also doesn't get along well with his family. In the same city, a small-time hustler, Franklin Clinton, is trying to escape his hood life and find a better future for himself. Franklin works for Simeon Yetarian, an Armenian car dealer with a crook business. Simeon sells expensive cars to people who can't afford them and then repossesses them when the customer defaults on payments. Simeon takes advantage of Michael's son Jimmy, convincing him to buy a car at hefty interest, and then later down the line, Franklin is tasked by Simeon with repossessing the car from Michael's home in Rockford Hills. Franklin breaks into the Rockford Hills mansion and makes his way to the garage where he finds the vehicle he was sent to repossess parked. Franklin breaks into the car and starts driving it back to the showroom, but he didn't know that Michael was actually waiting for him in the backseat with a gun. Franklin tells Michael about Simeon's shady scheme, and amused by Franklin of him taking orders and following them diligently, Michael tells Franklin that sometime he will teach him a few things about life over a beer. As Franklin drove both of them near to Simeon's dealership, Michael orders Franklin to crash the car into Simeon's front dealership window. After the crash, Michael gets out of the car and beats Simeon to a pulp. Franklin loses his job at Simeon's dealership after this incident. After the drug deal going wrong, Franklin decides to take Michael's offer for that drink and joins him in the mansion where Michael is relaxing by the poolside. Michael gets a distress call from his son Jimmy, who tried to sell Michael's boat behind his back before things went badly. Now a gang of thieves was speeding out of town with Michael's boat and kid in tow. Franklin helps Michael in rescuing Jimmy, where he earns Michael's trust. Michael tells Franklin to stay in touch for any work. Soon after these events, Michael catches his wife playing tennis with a tennis coach on his bed. Oof. Infuriated by this, Michael and Franklin chase the tennis coach to a fancy house in Vinewood Hills. Michael pulls the deck of the house down using a bison truck, hoping to get his revenge. But unfortunately, the house did not belong to the tennis coach, but rather to the mistress of Martin Madrazo, a powerful drug kingpin who puts a hit on both Michael and Franklin. After Michael and Franklin dispatch his hitmen, Madrazo tells them that he expects them to pay for the damages if they want to keep their lives. Michael decides to come out of retirement to pay the money owed to Madrazo and connects with his old friend Lester for a heist. To gain Lester's trust, Michael assassinates the CEO of Life Invader platform, after which Michael and the crew pull off an elaborate jewelry heist. Madrazo is paid what is owed to him. The heist makes rounds all over the news. FIB agent Dave Norton warns Michael that his stunt may attract Trevor's attention towards him being alive. Somewhere down in Blaine County, in his trailer, while doing his hard work, Trevor's attention catches the news. Why? Because Michael said the same dialogue during the heist which he did during the North Yankton cash facility job.
Forget 1,000 things every day. How about you make sure this is one of them?
You forget thousands of things every day. We'll make sure this is one of them.
Trevor makes a living by running illegal operations, which includes selling drugs and weapons. For several years, Trevor believed Michael was dead. However, upon discovering that Michael might still be alive, he becomes furious. Enraged, Trevor eliminates his competition. He kills Johnny Klebitz from GTA 4 The Lost and Damned, takes on several members of the Aztecas, and wipes out the O'Neill brothers' meth operation due to losing out on a deal with the Wei Cheng triads. Trevor demands Wade who is his associate, to find out about where Michael is living in Los Santos. After some time, he and Wade go up to Los Santos, where Trevor confronts Michael in his Rockford mansion. Trevor arrives at Michael's house during a dispute between Michael and his wife, who has discovered that he has returned to the life of crime. Neither of the DeSantas are happy to see Trevor, knowing that his presence only means that they are in greater danger than ever. Tension rises in the DeSanta household as Michael's family leaves him due to his anger issues and Michael failing to adopt to a normal life. FIB agent Steve Haynes manipulates Michael, Franklin, Trevor, and Lester into carrying out illegal jobs to serve his own interests. One of these missions involves stealing funds from a rival organization, IAA, to benefit the FIB. At the same time, the IAA is secretly working on a nerve agent intended to be sold to terrorists funded by the government. The FIB plans to steal the agent but needs money to execute the mission. To finance this, they order the crew to arrange the fund themselves. In response, the crew decides to rob a bank in Blaine County. The heist is risky and they barely escape, but they secure enough money to fund the mission. Using the funds, the crew successfully steals the nerve agent from the IAA headquarters. During the operation, Steve Haynes, who is involved in the mission, is forced to shoot himself to avoid suspicion. Steve introduces Michael to billionaire Devin Weston, who has deep connections within the FIB. Without the crew's knowledge, their past heists have indirectly benefited Weston. To further his goals, Weston facilitates a large payout and offers them more jobs. He also connects Michael with Vinewood producer Solomon Richards, hoping to profit from their collaboration on a movie. Meanwhile, Weston assigns Franklin and Trevor to steal high-end sports car for Chinese buyers. Sometime later, Weston decides to shut Michael's movie project for an insurance claim. Devin's assistant Molly takes the copy of the film from Solomon with an intention of safeguarding it from any release. This angers Michael, and he decides to confront Molly. When Michael confronts Weston's assistant Molly at Los Santos airport, she panics due to the fear that Michael might kill her. Then she herself tragically dies while escaping Michael after being sucked into a jet engine. Now Weston seeks revenge on Michael. Around this time, Martin Madrazo hires Michael and Trevor to retrieve sensitive files from a plane. After they successfully complete the job, Trevor demands payment, but Madrazo refuses. Enraged, Trevor kidnaps Madrazo's wife, forcing Michael to stay out of Los Santos. Later, Trevor steals a gold statue from Meriwether train. Michael convinces him to return it as a peace offering to Madrazo. In return, Michael promises Trevor a high-stakes heist, the Union Depository. Trevor agrees and Madrazo's wife is also released. Michael returns to Los Santos and shortly after, Trevor brings up his plan to break Brad out of prison. During their conversation, Trevor puts the pieces together and finds out that Brad has been dead for years. Furious Trevor heads down to North Yankton to confirm the truth. He digs up the grave where Michael was supposed to be buried but finds Brad's body instead. Michael follows him to the graveyard where they pull guns on each other, and then suddenly a group of Wei Cheng triads arrive, seeking revenge on Trevor. Mistaking Michael for Trevor's partner, they kidnap him instead. Shortly after these events, Franklin and Trevor complete one last job for Devin Weston, only to be cheated out of their payment. Franklin figures out that Michael has been kidnapped. Determined to save Michael, Franklin and Lester track down the triad's hideout. Franklin storms the location, killing several gang members and successfully rescuing Michael. During Michael's movie release, Devin Weston attends the red carpet and informs Michael that his family is in danger. Apparently, Weston sends Meriwether guards to dispatch of Michael's family. Michael storms back to his house, rescuing his family from Devin's henchmen. Steve Haynes informs the crew that the FIB has begun to suspect him and orders them to erase any incriminating evidence against him from the agency's database. To execute the mission, the crew infiltrates the FIB building disguised as firefighters, setting off controlled explosions to gain access. Amidst the chaos, they successfully retrieve the evidence before making their escape. Franklin learns from his ex-girlfriend that his friend Lamar has been captured. Seeking help, he turns to Michael and Trevor to rescue him from Stretch, who was once Lamar's friend but has now betrayed him. Shortly after the FIB raid, Steve Haynes attempts to have Michael arrested because of his fear of being caught for his corrupt practices, and he wants to pin the blame on both Michael and Dave. However, Steve's associate, Sanchez, leaks his intention to other FIB agents, leading to both the FIB and the IAA going after Haynes. At the same time, Meriwether arrives on the scene. In the chaos, Trevor steps in and saves Michael, declaring that if anyone is going to kill Michael, it will be him. Following this, Michael and Trevor agree to rob the Union Depository together, but only as business partners, not friends. Once the job is complete, they plan to go their separate ways. Michael, Trevor, Franklin, and Lester plan an elaborate heist to rob the Union Depository, storming in the location and stealing 4 tons of gold from the government. Meanwhile, Devin Weston, seeking revenge, orders Franklin to kill Michael. At the same time, FIB agent Dave Norton instructs Franklin to eliminate Trevor. Instead, Franklin chooses a third path, Death Wish. With Lester's help, Franklin saves both Michael and Trevor. The three of them fight off waves of Meriwether mercenaries and FIB agents. Realizing that their survival depends on eliminating their enemies, they each take out their targets. Franklin kills Wei Cheng, Trevor executes Steve Haynes, and Michael eliminates Stretch. Finally, all three of them join forces together to take down Devin Weston. In the aftermath, FIB agent Dave Norton erases their criminal records, allowing them to live freely. With their enemies gone, the trio finally go their separate ways. And that's a wrap, guys. That was the story of Grand Theft Auto 5. If you have any suggestions or thoughts, drop them in the comments below. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, take care and keep gaming.